Welcome to the event. We've got an exciting 40 hours time we get through the voting tomorrow. Every 4 years we always hear this is the most important election of our life, right? And usually if you look back at those 4-year increments, when we were talking about that, there really was multiple events that made it the most important election of our life. But now here we are today, looking at tomorrow right down the barrel. And it indeed is the most important election for our state and for our country. And I know there's multiple people here who understand how important it is to have a change in leadership. We hear about different things that are happening nationally all the time, and we definitely need a change in Washington, D.C. I'm very confident that Missouri carries Donald J. Trump, but we got to hope and pray that our nation does, and any relatives you have that live in other parts of the country, we need to make sure they bring them home. Of course, Josh Hawley is at the top of the ticket with Donald Trump as our U.S. Senator. We really are optimistic about Josh getting across the finish line. He's done a great job representing Missouri and Washington for us. We are going to address the crime problem in this state one way or another with local leaders. They're going to need to get on board because we can't work on our economic opportunities that we have, our education opportunities we have, our agriculture opportunities we have until we get the basic building block of crime done first. And I've said, and I'll say it again, our crime plan will make Missouri the best state in the nation for law enforcement officers, period. We want to make sure that, yes.
I have worked with the leadership team in the state of, what I hope to be the leadership team in the upcoming election. They're all great. You can start with Andrew Bailey, Denny Hoskins, Scott Fitzpatrick, and I rode over here from St. Louis with Vivek Malik today. They could not be greater, kinder, harder working people, so I think Missouri ought to be very grateful that these folks have stepped up to run for office, and I sure hope they're elected tomorrow evening. And with everybody getting out to vote, I think they will be. If I assume the office of Lieutenant Governor, Mike Kehoe did point out, veterans is going to be a big issue in the Lieutenant Governor's office. We intend on fighting for our veterans, so we spend more on our great veterans than we do on illegal aliens. We're going to work with the legislature on tourism issues. Crime is a big issue. Soon-to-be Governor Kehoe pointed out public safety is a huge issue. I intend on working with Governor Kehoe, Attorney General Bailey, and working toward these public safety issues that will encourage tourism in the state of Missouri.
We're at a really unique point in our state's history where we have the potential to elect Republicans to statewide office from the top of the ticket on down. And that's a truly historical moment where we can deliver transformative conservative change. And I'm so excited to be part of the leadership team to serve with the men and women behind me to lead the state in a better direction. And, at the end of the day, I think crime is a top priority. I look at our state constitution, and victims have rights too. And I completely agree with Governor Kehoe that this state should be the best state in the nation for men and women in law enforcement to serve, to protect our communities. I believe safer streets equal prosperous communities. And it's really easy in politics to talk about the things you're against. It's a lot harder to inspire people with a vision of change. That's exactly what Governor Kehoe has done. And I'm excited to partner with him. I've traveled the state circuit by circuit, meeting with elected prosecutors, sheriffs, police chiefs, talking about the challenges they face. And we've seen a dramatic increase in the requests for my office to assist in trial court prosecution as we demonstrate the resources we have at the state level to help shore up our criminal justice system. And again, I'm excited to partner with Governor Kehoe as he rolls out his crime package and make sure we're supporting the men and women in law enforcement that are putting their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. The other thing I would note is fighting back against federal overreach has been a hallmark of my tenure in office thus far and will remain so. There is no sanction in the United States Constitution for an unelected, unaccountable fourth branch of government. And that's the bureaucracy you see in the alphabet soup of government regulatory agencies. And at the end of the day, it is a government of we the people, not unelected bureaucrats.
One of the things that I want to focus on as your next Secretary of State is auditing the voter rolls. We all heard what happened in the state of Texas when they audited their voter rolls, and they found 1 million ineligible voters on their voter rolls, including 6,500 non-citizens. When Virginia audited their voter rolls, they found 6,000 non-citizens on their voter rolls. And even a blue state like Oregon, when they audited their voter rolls, they found 1,500 non-citizens on their voter rolls. As your next Secretary of State, I will lead a robust effort to audit the voter rolls here in the state of Missouri and make sure that we only have eligible citizens voting. And one of the things I want to talk about, just mention, I know our next speaker is going to go into a little bit more detail, but vote no on Amendment 3 and yes on Amendment 7. Amendment 7 would change the Constitution from all citizens can vote here in the state to only citizens can vote here in the state. And that's very important because in states like California that have similar language to what we do have here in the state of Missouri, they're letting non-citizens vote in some of their state and local elections.